or what? Is there something that you say, oh yeah, we of course need to pamper a little bit of our existing client base?
There isn't really anything set in stone, or it's more intuitive, I think. And the clients that we have that continue to come to us are also, most of them have become friends. So yeah, I think we have the likability factor to them, but they're also that to us. So
yeah, exactly.
I think with every client, we have a certain amount of quality and time and effort and thinking outside of the box and thinking of new ways to improve our way of working creatively, but also like in my field of work, make it more effective, make it more time and cost effective. But that's something we kind of do with everyone. Yeah, there isn't really a certain strategy. No, to be honest.
So there's of course all these events as well where you can mingle with everybody and you can kind of shoot. There's all these people from the same industry or a little bit outside. Yeah. They come together. There's many of these events, some more party-like setting, more drinking and having dinners too. And the other one is more with conferences. So you have more talks that you can go to and see perspectives of people. What do you think about these events? Like, how much do you make use of that in your business development to say, okay, these events is it a big chunk of the business to say that is really important to meet people face to face, of course, but also to accumulate more new business?
I haven't really had any new business from those kind of events, to be honest. What I get mostly out of it is that I think it's really important to inspire and encourage young composers and meet young composers and give them tips and advice and, help them and show them that you're never too good to be at an event like this. Lots of the big players are not there, and I think that's really a pity,
Yeah.
And I think it's really nice to meet other composers and talk because, it's quite an anonymous thing, to be honest, and I don't really understand why. The film composers are quite a close community, and I have a small work group as well with film composers that we talk very openly about fees and how you make your quotes and think of effective ways together to collaborate. But for certain in advertising, it does not happen. There's a big competition feel, and that's not necessary at all. There's enough work for everyone.
We talked about it before this podcast. I believe so much in collaboration over competition, and the same thing is I know when we started out as well. Pricing was such a different, how do you dedicate it? Some people said hours and people said, okay, but you put already so much time into it. So is it really hours? And then the prices are very different. So they go from 5,000 to sometimes 300,000.
Yeah.
And if you really, it depends if it's more of a commercial side where I'm talking about advertisement. So fashion or trailers or games. And there's so much in between.
Yeah.
And very sporadic kind of how you dedicate those prices.
Yeah.
So how, and I get the question as well, like how do I dedicate? What should I ask? Because most composers, they just want to make something.
Yeah.
Nike is asking
for everyone. For any kind of amount they would. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And that's I do believe as your human sense to say, even if you wouldn't get money for it, it should feel like you really want to do it. Then I think you're doing something great in life.
Yeah.
Although, sure, you should get money for it.
Yeah.
That would be great. So how would people dedicate that? So you're saying, I'm talking with a group of composers as well.
Yeah.
You kind of try to be very transparent with one another to say, what do you get for it? So you kind of know a little bit what is average.
Mm-hmm.
Is there other ways or methods that you can use to dedicate those prices?
I'm not sure. I think, talk to your fellow composers on the same kind of level, and I'm quite honest as well. Like a few weeks ago at ADE, I said to a composer, you're doing your job way too cheap. You're ruining it for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, fuck, you're right. I wasn't aware of that I'm also ruining the standard for everyone.
You can become the one that does it for free all the time.
Yeah.
And that's, you need to be very careful with that or else.
So careful, yeah.
We also have seen that I believe it was Chanel again. They had a perfume and they wanted to make a budget version to make it more accessible to people. So I believe they made it around like $30 and nobody bought it. So they raised the price to $60. Everybody bought it.
Yeah.
And this is a strange thing about perception, that people think that sometimes it's not. And the same happens in business. So if you become the one that is making a price that is really cheap, then you would say, oh, but now I'm competing with price here, so that's great. But a lot of people would also consider that then it can be good, that it can be quality.
Yeah.
Hey there, I appreciate you watching the video. If you like this one, check out this video or that video. And if you want to support the channel, make sure to click on top of my head on the logo and subscribe to the channel.